sure it's working and stuff, and then we can get started. There it goes. I did not check my audio, so yeah, it's good. All right, hello. So last time I added a bunch of like models, like added the tires and a new like tree for some of the tracks. So this track is pretty much done. So I have one more track I want to do before the next playtest. And well, after I do that next track, I have other changes that need to be made. So maybe some new items. There's a lot of bug fixes I need to do. And then what else? Well, yeah, today I'm just gonna be working on that last track. So the theme I'm thinking is kind of like a void or a space themed track. So it's just gonna be kind of a road in empty space. And then I want to add a new mechanic. So right now I have the problem that if I want to, where is it? Oh, no, it's over here. If I want to have the track loop over itself, I have to do this weird thing where I have that bump right there that you hit and you fly like way over this thing to get to the other side. And there has to be like water on both sides so that I can't just drive over to it like that. And not only that, but the jump has to be the second part. If it's the first part, then you could just drop down into the area below and be fine. So I really want to add another way for the track to cross over itself. So the way I'm going to do that is to have like essentially different maps merged into one, and you can kind of teleport between them by touching certain parts. So you could think of it like portals, but then in most cases, what it'll be is that it'll be like, I don't know, like a hole in the ground you drop into, and now you're in an underground area, so you can go under the other track without doing with any of that stuff. It'll take a bit of work in terms of handling things like the projectiles and stuff. There's a lot of things that will have to be changed code-wise for that, so that will be interesting. I think that's going to be the last major like track feature that I add to the game, like prior to release. So I think track-wise I won't have to be coding much more, so that'll leave just bug fixes, like quality of life stuff, and items. But yeah, so today is going to be a little bit short. I just want to sketch out the level, maybe test it out a little bit. Only problem is that I don't want to get into too much coding today. We'll see how fast things are going, but I think I'll do the actual layout first. So it'll be like 2 images for the track terrain, and then maybe I'll try and connect them together and do the portal type thing. I think it might be like a portal in this track. We'll see. All right. So let's go ahead and stop this, and we can start with the good old MS Paint. So we're going to do a little bit of an unofficial sketch here. So we have a couple track layouts already, or well, actually let's pull them up so that I know what they, so I have a good reference here. Where is it? Pixkartz, data, images, maps. So over here I can look at the different layouts that I have. So there's obviously BC3, Frosty Iceberg. So I want it to be a bit different. And there's a couple ways I could make it different. I really like this track. I think Sandy Oasis will continue to be my favorite. Although the duck is a good competitor. Sandy Oasis, I think, is my favorite track design. What could I not do before is the real question, because of the looping over problem. What interesting things could I not do? You're trying to do vampires? You mean vampire survivors? Yeah, so I can just draw a line or whatever, and then I can turn into a track later. So I just need the layout. So it needs to at least feature crossing over itself, and you could do that a couple different ways. I think, well, first of all, I'm gonna do like red and blue for the different layers. Like the top layer is gonna be blue, and then like the bottom layer is gonna be red, so that I know what is where. So you start on the top one, and then like maybe you turn left. Yeah, you gotta start going up. That's the kind of the rule. You turn left, and then let's say go into a portal, like right there. And then you can actually do some interesting stuff here. You can like do a double loop like that. That would be funny. I definitely don't like that. Wait, so I am remembering something though. I don't have a pattern like that anywhere because I couldn't do it before. Well, actually, technically I could because it's just one crossover. But I am remembering there's a track. What is it? It's one of the Bowser's castles. Is it N64? Let me see. That actually had something like this and was kind of annoying. So I'm thinking maybe not. Let's see if this is it. Yes, it is. N64 Bowser's Castle. So it has. Someone made it in Minecraft. I guess, yeah, whatever. We'll look at this. It has the loop right here. It's really annoying. Actually, that's not even that bad. I thought it looped more. That's close to what I have in Sandy Oasis, but the Sandy Oasis one feels fine. I think this one is just kind of tight. And actually, you can kind of see from here how it's set up. It's like tight around a tower. I think Sandy Oasis is a lot looser, but what bridge part? Is it possible to use Pygame in Android? Yes. I don't do that though, so I don't know much about it. Let's, for the fun of it though, make a really tight turn. So we will do what the Bowser's Castle thing does. So you go under here. So like loop under. And I do have to be careful actually about letting the tracks be too close together. That ends up being a pain later on with the checkpoints if I'm not careful. So the smart thing is to just like keep them a little bit of space. It would be cool if you're hopping in and out of portals. The only thing is I think I'm going to destroy the rockets if, not the blue one, but the red one. Wait, is it red? The one that's not going to first place. I want to destroy them, if kind of like the cannons in Mario Kart is what I'm thinking. So I don't want to hop in and out too much. What is a good? Oh, I should probably do like a split path somewhere. That would be cool. Oh, what if one path is above ground and one is underground? That would be interesting. I'm not sure how the rockets would handle that though. I have a feeling that wouldn't work too well. Especially the blue ones, because what would it do? If it just follows the checkpoints, and then when it's at the checkpoint that's close to the player, it'll fly across. Yeah, I actually can't do a split upper and lower because of the way that the rockets work. But I can do a split within a layer. So, can like do something like that. And maybe maybe that goes like that, and then this one, we'll do the good old, what is it called? Delfino square? Wait, no. Is it? I forget. It's where you get one curvy turn and then one right angle going into each other. The curvy one's gonna be the shorter path. I mean, you normally take that in the actual track, but I can balance it so that it's actually interesting. And then also make it so the rockets can fly across, because there's gonna be a void between, which means that the rockets should be able to hit in there. Oh, and then what if I cut across this thing? That would be funny. Wait, so let's... What if I do that? And then I go top layer. And then I just cut straight across that. Yeah, that's interesting. No, I don't like that. I'm thinking something like that. That would be interesting. So you start like right here, and you go up and around and down, and then there's the split path. You come around here. There's all that stuff too. Oh, actually, if it's in space, it should have, or like the void or whatever, it should have like some jumps regardless. And a shortcut would be good too. So I could add like something right here, maybe. If would it be if you can hit it with enough speed? I don't want to do that. I could just make it difficult. So like you get one that's going off to the side, that way you're going to make a sharp turn to get over here. That's what it is on Frosty Iceberg. And then what I'll do is I'll put item boxes over there so that you only take this path if you want the faster one. Like you would do that maybe on your last lap or something. And then over here, I'll go ahead and add like a couple jumps as well. So I can delete that. Oh, it should be on like a straight section though, because otherwise people are going to be falling off like crazy. So we can do like 2, 1, 2, there, like that. That looks good to me. Yeah, I like that layout. All right. What am I drawing? I'm drawing the map for the next track. MK, America DS, and I'm not sure what is CTR. I'm not sure what CTR is. Do you think it's worth it to be, for you to switch to Windows for Gamedev, currently on Linux? So I'm of the belief that it's best to be developing on the main platform that your users are going to be using, if it's a possibility, or if it's reasonable. So like, if there's any Windows specific bugs, I'm much more likely to catch them by developing on Windows. And like my user base is going to be 95% Windows anyways. So I think it's better for that reason. There are other applications as well that just don't run on Linux very easily. So like a lot of the stuff I need for streaming, and a couple other things do not really, well, some things just don't have Linux versions. So I mean, I guess I could try Wine, but then that can be a hassle. The actual development experience, though, if I'm just talking about my games, is better on Linux. It's just a lot nicer. If it just feels more native, maybe, I don't know. But I'm a lot more comfortable with just the commands and stuff on Linux distributions and everything as well, but I don't think it ends up being worth it in the long run. For game development, if I were doing other stuff, like if I were doing what's a good example, man, I guess web development is a decent example, like something like that, or anything that's not super platform specific, that can run on Linux, where the user base is not going to be dependent on what it's the software's running on. It's like server side stuff, I guess. Actually, no, most servers are Linux. If you're doing like server development, Linux is nice. So yeah, like I said, web. And that is when I've done web stuff for work. It is much nicer to be on Linux. So I don't know. I haven't outside of work. I haven't used Linux much lately, just because I haven't had much of a reason to. Crash Bandicoot Racing. Okay. I've not played that. I don't agree that Mario Kart DS is the best Mario Kart. I like Mario Kart Wii way more. The Mario Kart DS is the Mario Kart I played the second most of, though. Alright. So Sunny Circuit is... I'm not sure how big it was. I guess Sunny Circuit's a good size reference. So I think what I'll do is I'll take Sunny Circuit, open it up in ASprite, and yeah, we just do that. Here's Sunny Circuit, and then new layer. I think what I'll do to test it, like just the angles and the road size and stuff, is I'll actually merge the two layers together. So even though they're going to be separate later, I'll just let them cross over themselves, so that I can try out the layout. Because that's kind of what it'll feel like. The only purpose of having the two different layers is so people can't just get ahead by going somewhere they're not supposed to. And it also stops people from getting lost. But let's see. I think the road width on this one was pretty good, so I can actually just kind of copy that. Let's do... So what I did before was just a rectangle, and I can look at this, like zoom out a bit, and well, so the start is actually on the right side for this one. That's interesting. I'm trying to think. Sandy Oasis has that. And a lot of ways this is kind of close to Sandy Oasis. It's got some big turns at the end and some weird, like it's got a double path in the middle and crosses over itself a few times, but Sandy Oasis is my favorite map, so that's not terrible. Alright, so I need the solid color rectangle. And what I'll do is I'll turn down the opacity on this one so that I can see what I'm doing on the important layer. This is just a reference layer. Alright, so I can draw like that. But I don't want it to be too wide. Put it like right here. That's a bit thin, I think. Actually, how long is this? So this is a pretty decently long section. So, it's annoying that I can't see how wide my thing is. It's too wide. Too thin. That's good enough. Alright. And I should, while I'm here, just draw all the straight sections. So there's going to be this is going to be the lower level. So there's a decently long straight section straight to the left of this. It's going to go up a little bit higher because it's going to cross over. and then go pretty low. So kind of like right here. I don't need it to be that big. Nope, still too big. Actually, no, this can be pretty thin because it's gonna end up being a split part, so I can make it thinner since the cars are gonna be split up, and most people are actually probably going to go the other direction. I'm getting very annoyed by the fact that I can't see how big my rectangle. I feel like you can even see. Hang on, I think you can even see this in Paint. If I zoom out like really far, like yeah. Zoom out really far, do like a one wide thing and fill solid color. Well, you can see it as you're drawing it. There's some bugs in there, but you can see what you're doing. I don't know why in A-Sprite you can't. That's so weird. I guess it's a pixel art, so you're not supposed to be zoomed out this far. There, that's a decent width. All right. So there's also that straight section on right here, on the bottom, and then there's also going to be one that crosses over on the top. So let's do this one first. This one's going to be pretty easy. Just make sure I get it lined up. And I have a good size reference right here too. There we go. And then on the top layer, I can cross over. It's gonna be like right here. And then that's gonna loop back around. Man, I'm a little bit high up here. I'm worried I'm making things a little bit too big. I guess this can just end up being one of the larger tracks. And I just gotta make sure some of the other sections are thinner, I guess. I'm gonna move all this stuff down. I gotta select both layers too. Can I? Is that a thing I can do? Hang on. Is that the only way to do it? Does that work? We're about to find out. No, it doesn't. That's interesting, but it's not a huge deal. I can just whoop. And then grab the other one and line it up however I want it. Like there. There we go. All right, back to drawing. All right, so there are no more straight sections really. You could argue that there's that one on the bottom and a couple others, but so now I just got to connect all this stuff together. So right where that ends there is where it's going to cross over to the lower one. Let's see here. Not entirely sure how I'm going to draw the connection part. Let's just go ahead and start connecting these things and getting our track in. If you've seen my other streams on this, I am generally pretty sloppy about how I draw these turns. Because people really do not care, as long as it doesn't feel bad to drive. I'm doing this with a mouse, by the way. Just gonna try to fill this stuff in right here. All right, there's the turn. And then, so this is going to loop back on itself, but then it's going to loop from a lower layer. So the way I'm going to do this is that you hit the portal here, and it's gonna be like kind of curved inward like that. And then, so right here will be the portal. And then, so now I can go down to this other layer, and then I'll draw a little loop thing right here. And then, actually, I should make it stick out. Ooh. And now, this will go and loop around to the other thing. Gotta be very good about drawing my curves here. That's not very good. This is very hard to see as well. Fortunately, there's not too many curves in the track. That's pretty good. I'll take it. Alright, so now the outside one's the harder one though. I'm gonna do it in multiple strokes. Whoop. Whoop. This might be a bit of a thin. Yeah, that's pretty thin. I don't like that. So it needs to be like much wider. There we go. It's good enough. So now we've got our two layers that connect. So we've got our top, well, our bottom layer, and then our top layer. So now I need the little fork in the road. So that's gonna be like halfway down that, around the start line. I want it to come off. Do I want it to? I could put the right angle here. A right angle here would be kind of fun. Just hit it at a right angle, and then it re-merges diagonally. That's what I'm thinking. So I can just draw an arbitrary squiggly line on this one. So just do oh, wait, what? What is going on here? Why is my alpha wrong? Oh, it's fine actually. It's just, I'm zoomed out 50%, so it puts that at 50% alpha because it's half pixel. Alright. So it comes out at a right angle, then I do my squigglies or whatever. That's good enough. And so this one can be a bit thinner because it's the more optimal path. So it makes sense if it's harder to take as a path. Oh, I forgot about the thing where if I zoom out enough, my lines end up kind of jagged. Those ones look clean. That looks clean. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna have to correct those because those jagged lines are gonna show up in the game if I'm not careful. Okay, is there a way I can see the whole? No. All right. So now we go wee, and then, like I said, this one's gonna be a bit thinner. Because it is the optimal route. All right. So now I need the loop where it comes up to loop over itself. So for that, it like curves down first and then up and around. Whoop. So yeah, it comes up like this, and the way this one's gonna work, how do I do this? I think the way it's gonna work is that I'm going to put a ramp that you hit and it like takes you up. Or am I gonna do the portal thing? Actually, let's do the portal thing. So that's gonna look like this. Nah, not quite like that. So the portal will be there. And this has got to loop back. And boom. All right. So now we can go back up to the next layer, and then this is the part that's going to cross over. So connect that right there. And then that's going to cross over, come down this way, and man, it's going to be a interesting track. The thing about making it just thinner and smaller in general towards the end here. So it's going to go straight over all of this mess. And then as soon as you get over here, it's gonna turn. There we go. And then it's gonna turn back on itself. I don't have a ton of space here. It's a very vertical one. Might need a bigger track thing for it, we'll see. So I do need some space to put in the shortcut. Actually, I think I might just take the shortcut out, because the track's already decently long. So actually, you always want to do the inside turn first, I have found. All right. And then we go around like that. And then this is where we put in some jumps. Oh, wait. I think this section needs, this part needs to be longer. Just gonna grab you, and we're gonna go, oh, does that not work? That's how you gotta do it. So that's gotta be longer. And then I gotta connect them. Oh, what if I did this? Hang on, this would be funny. What if I just made the track really thin right there? That would be very interesting. And then, so yeah, now I can put in my jumps here. So I just need some platforms. And then we need the other one here. And then this one will just go right up there. There, we have us a track. I'm gonna smooth out this turn here. And then I can also shave off stuff right here. There we go. That's a track if I've ever seen one. All right. So the next thing is that we get rid of that. I think that fits. All right. So I need 0, 0, 0 on the RGB for that becomes water. All right. And there is not going to be any dirt on this track, which is going to be different from all the other ones. So that actually makes, like, leaves that done pretty much. Although I do need to not have the black here because I'm going to merge them together. So I need the extras layer, which is what's going to contain all the jumps. Let me delete that. Let me save this too. So maps. What should I call it? It's gonna be like space or void themed. Well, I could name it after the portals. I could call it Portal Void. The track looks like a cat. I'm not seeing that one. Yeah, I'm really not seeing it. Are my maps just really big images that you load into the background? Yes, but there's also the 3D assets that are placed on them. So there's two steps. You do the ground artwork, and then you do the then you place all the the 3D models and everything, basically. Can you see X, Y coordinate? Well, I don't know the exact measurements. I want to know it visually. If you need inspiration for games, just join game jams. When you have to make something for a theme that limits the types of things you can make, it ends up kind of giving you more interesting ideas, I feel like. Will I do a playtest today? No, playtests are scheduled in advance, like a month in advance. I'll probably be scheduling one soon though, because I'm getting close to what I wanted done for the next playtest. Make the portals black and white holes. I think I'm gonna make them portals of some kind. I'm not sure what I'll do exactly because I have some graphical limitations because of the way I've set up the rendering on this thing. I might just try to do it in a shader, like set aside a specific color to have the shader do some magic. Would I make a two-stage track, one on the top for one lap and one another one on the bottom for another lap? I would have to code some extra stuff to be able to do that. So, and not only that, but if you have a track where you're not just driving through the same spot every time, like every lap, then you're increasing your workload. Like, for example, if your second and third lap are one thing, but your first lap's a different thing, then yeah, you'll end up with let me think. Yeah, if they're different, then you'll end up spending like way more time on the artwork because you're like twice as long, because you'll have the first lap portion and then the second and third lap portion, which are presumably full lap length, so it's twice as much artwork, pretty much. that's the most like time-consuming part for me, is doing the floor artwork. So I'd rather not be doing something like that. Any IKEA? No, because no one's gonna know what that means. If you look at the other name, well, these aren't necessarily the names that I've got here, but this was Turtle Castle, Frosty Iceberg, Gold Pit, Bok Bok, Pirate Bay, Sandy Oasis, Sunny Circuit. They're like all 2-word names, and they're using words that people would know. I'm using Pygame. Yeah. All right. So let's do. I could do Portal Void. That would be interesting. I think I will have to do some like a shader specifically for the portals. That is not going to be today, of course, though. All right. Although I think the artwork for this track will be. Oh, you know what? I could do a like separate first lap and second lap if I've got a track kind of like this one where the artwork's going to be very minimal because of the theme. Although I think this is going to be the only one that's going to be like this. I think this goes into A sprite is where I put it. So this is going to be the Portal Void. All right. So I will now add new layer. This will be the extras layer. And if I remember correctly, it's red to get the jumps. I don't need super big jumps though. So I think I can take like this one, for example. Fortunately, they're like axis aligned, which saves me a lot of work. I'll put down a couple speed boosts as well, but that's for later. There's like a rotate 90 degrees thing, I think. Rotate. Yeah, there we go. And then I just whoop. Do that. Copy. Paste. Put one here. And we're good to go on that front. Now all that's left is speed boosts. I might do the Rainbow Road type thing where you do right, left, right, left. Is it green? What is the color? I think it's green for the speed boosts. Yeah. So this is like a normal speed boost. I think the brighter the color, the stronger the effects of the ramp or the speed boost. That's where they're kind of dark, because they can get a lot more powerful. All right. So for this one, you know what I was just thinking? I'm gonna need an extras layer for each. Did I really just? Oh no. I'm gonna need an extras layer for each one of these, like the floor layers. Although. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to make a new layer here. New layer. You're going here. And so all the bumps are gonna be over here. And then down here, I'll have the speed boosts. And I think the way it'll work, I'll do that thing where this one's gonna be faster, but it's not gonna have items. I think I'll put, well, I guess I don't need anything here. Sure, I'll put a speed boost down here, is what I'm thinking now. Or what if you have to go into the turn with the boost? That would be funny. So if I put it like right here, rotate 90 degrees, I'm gonna put it right there. So you hit that and you go into the turn going pretty fast. But then I think all through this area. Should have copied the last one. I'm just gonna go left, right, left. That's a bit far. Right there. And then if you're really good, you might be able to hit this one and still you gotta have some really high handling to hit this one and turn into there. We'll see. So there'll be those for you to mess with. I think that's pretty much good. Now, I will have to what is it? Where is it? Oh no, it's only on the final thing. I'll ignore that for now. So all these things, will I make them invisible? How do I want to do this? I don't want to color anything yet. I guess I'll... I know what I'll do. Alright. So this will be the floor. It's going to be silly. Where's... export as... So the way this works, I believe, go map. So if I go here, it's like floor, terrain, and extras. So this will be the floor for now. Floor.png. Export. Yes. And then you hide the extras, and this is the terrain. Because I'm not doing the portals yet. Terrain. Export. Yes. And then now I just need the extras. And that's going to be extras.png. And the only thing I really have to add, actually, now that I think about it, is I do need a finish line. So I'm going to steal this one. Oh, wait, no, I have to go get it from BC3 because that's the big one. This one has a big finish line. Where is it? It's over here. All right, give me the finish line. I'll steal you. All right, so that one's gonna go right here. This is just gonna be the decorations layer. And we're gonna put that right there. And we're gonna trim it. And that's just so we know where to put our stuff. Export as, and then this will be the floor. That's just so we know where to put our stuff. Because the next step is going to be... Oh, I need the banner too. That's going to be a fun one. So for that, we just pull out some MS Paint. And here's all my flags. But we're going to do some stuff down here. Have I considered learning Vim? I use Vim for work. I just don't use it for my personal projects. Alright. So, I'm going to copy this one. And... let's see here. It's gonna have to be dark because it's a void track. I'm not sure what the floor is gonna look like yet. I could just put some stars in it and call it a day, I think. Like, actually. There we go. Now let's take that color. And just add on our little things, and now it's like a starry thing. And I could do some of this stuff, just like add whatever patterns or whatever, I don't know. Add some swirly patterns. There we go. Now connect that and more swirlies. Do little wispy things around here. Now, if I added some other colors to it, I'm debating adding like some stars that are the colors. I don't know. So I guess it's gonna end up being a space theme, even though the name's gonna be called Portal Void. But whatever. I think I'll leave it that way. So just the stars. It's not even gonna show the track. But it looks unique compared to the other ones, at least, which is a good thing. Because I don't want them looking too similar. That's how people are going to recognize them. Alright. So let's go ahead and ignore all this stuff. We'll save this as... Nope, that is for my other project. And we'll do... maps. What is it called? Banner.png. And Portal Void banner.png. But then it also has to get saved somewhere else because I was being sloppy with my code. It's got to go into map banners, and then this is going to be what is it? Portal Void.png. Alright, that's that. So I think in terms of this stuff, I've got what I need. Next step is we'll need some map data. So data, maps, I need Portal Void. So like if I go in here, there's those things. I do need to add some configuration for it, so I'll use the same... do I want to use the same as School Pit? This is the haze. There's no haze in space. But what if there was? I'm gonna put a dark haze on it. That would be cool. I've not done that yet. So I gotta pick out a dark color here. So 38, 43, 68. Is that correct? 38, 43, 68. Yep. All right, now we mess with the alpha because I don't want it to be super strong. And then portal void. And then liquid colors. And this is where I also want to copy a gold pit. I think I'm just gonna copy it straight up. I'm not sure, I'm probably gonna change this later because it's gonna look like you're going over some weird dark liquid. I don't know. That's what it looks like. I don't know, I'll probably have to change it. Alright, so there's another const file in here somewhere that I have to change. Here it is. Portal void. Portal void. Portal void. Anything else? I don't think so. Let's see. There's all the car stats and the entities. Yeah. All right. Now I can go to the editor and put in portal void, and I can trace out the. I might have to change all this later. That's going to be annoying. Having the multiple layers, because I need to be able to specify the layer of the checkpoint. That's going to be very important later. So I'm probably getting this. All this is going to be like temporary. Where do I want to put it? The start thing is over here. So the way that works is you put your first checkpoint right there. And I'm going to be very sloppy because it does not really matter too much. So which way is the main way? I'm going to put the main way on the right for now, but that's what it'll end up being later too. So you just kind of go through here, clicking to, oh, that's not correct. There we go, that's good enough. I think it's O. I'm not gonna mess with like the item boxes yet either because everything's gonna have to change once I set up the portals. I can do the artwork first though. Let's see, so let's go into maps. It should be there. Oh no, data maps. There's two maps folders. This is a little bit confusing. Name this to blocks, and we'll see if we can start up a thing in it. So I'm gonna reboot the server. We start one of the clients. Hit play. Start up the other client. Hit play. There it is. Portal. Looks like portal-oid. I might have to move that pixel. Actually, you know what is bothering me? I am gonna move it right now. That's funny. I'm not sure which one's used for that, but I'm just gonna keep them both in sync anyways. So let's just put this one like over here or something. So it's like 3 pixels from that spot. Images, maps. All right. There we go. That'll fix it. There we go. Portal void. Alright. Maybe I should finish the map before making the banner. Well, I need a banner. The banner's like you saw, only took me like a couple minutes, so it's not a huge deal to draw one anyways. But I can change it afterwards. A falling star in the banner would be sick. The only problem is that it would be hard to see something like that. I could put it like maybe on the left side of the banner or the far right, like in the corners. But yeah, it'd be hard to see because the text goes in front. I might have to do some stuff to improve the visibility of the text on those things. Actually, I think what I was planning on doing was changing the alpha on the text, so it's like partially transparent unless you're actually hovering it. Have I tried Odin Lang? No, I haven't. Alright, let's see if this stuff works. I mean, it should work, but... Okay, did not work. Liquid did I forget to... I did. Oops. That's not how that works. I think the server is still running though, so... it's gonna just dump me in there. Here we go. So I would like to put stars in here instead of this water stuff, which... So I'm gonna have to do a lot of stuff with shaders for this map, which is fun, but... yeah, so... Instead of water, it's gonna be... or liquid of some kind, it's gonna be, space. Okay. I'll try both paths. Oh wait, hang on. This is a little bit confusing because the two layers are merged right now still, so I just kind of have to guess. I can see this being a fun track though. I'm liking the way it's looking. This thin section will be kind of funny. Alright, I'm gonna try to take the optimal route on the split section. So that's like, no, it's not there. It's, oh yeah, it's actually kind of hard to hit because that speed boost makes you go so fast. I think the strategy is you just skip the right one and you go, yeah, that's how you do it. And then you go down this way and you merge in and it's a lot faster. It's funny, there's no atmosphere in space, so there shouldn't be a haze, but I think aesthetically it'll look better with a haze. Yeah. Alright. These, and I like the ending turns on this are kind of fun. Alright, so I think that's gonna have to be everything I add today because I've got some stuff to work on for another interesting project. That's from my last video, but so for this game though, well, for Pixkartz, next thing is gonna be either the shaders or the portals, maybe both. So I'll probably do that next week. Once this track is done is probably when I'll schedule the next playtest, because between when I finish this track and when I do the next playtest, I just have to do a few minor quality of life stuff, bug fixes, and some stuff like that. So we're getting pretty close to scheduling another playtest, and what I'm thinking right now for the final, like full release, is something like 12 tracks. So we'll see. The game is getting pretty close. I'm over halfway. Although over halfway is not saying a whole lot because I started working on this in like March of last year. Yeah. So I'm hoping to have this game finished this year, but it might not happen. It's hard to tell because Yawnoc will have the higher priority. I've got one more week to work on the third project, that is not Yawnoc or Pixkartz, and then I gotta go spend all my time except for my live streams on Yawnoc because I'm aiming for maybe September or October with Yawnoc. I was originally planning on September, but then there's the Steam Next Fest, which I might try and wait on the release, put the release after so that I can do the Next Fest, but we'll see. So yeah, next week we might actually finally get to do some coding for the first time in, is it this year? Hang on, I want to check this. Let's see. So here are my streams. Well, I guess, yeah, so first time writing code this year, I think. That's funny. I mean, I've written like a couple lines in some streams, but not a ton. But yeah. Alright, so thanks for coming today. Next time, hopefully I'll be writing some code, which is the more interesting stuff. So